Pequot people rely on relationships with Creator, ourselves, our family, the land, and water. And through these relationships, we have overcome thousands of years of adversity. This is a statement from the Pequot Museum, the largest Native American museum in the world. The Mashantucket Pequot tribe have lived sustainably along the Long Island coast for thousands of years. The Pequot have strong traditions in agriculture, hunting, and foraging. The Pequot have also traditionally tapped maple trees for sugaring, a tradition that is still being continued by members of the tribe into the modern day. As the historical homeland of the Mashantucket Pequot was by the coast, marine sources were also very important to them. As such, when Dutch settlers arrived in the area, there was initially trade between the two groups, especially that of the wampum, which were beads made out of colorful shells. However, as more colonists began to come to that area, the Pequot peoples were plagued with raids and sicknesses brought by the colonists. These tensions culminated in the Pequot War in the 16th century, which almost resulted in a total genocide of the Pequot tribe. The Pequot Massacre took place in what is now Mystic, Connecticut, in 1673, where the Pequot village was burned to the ground, and hundreds of Pequots were killed, including the elderly and children. After the war, the Treaty of Hartford was created, which separated the surviving Pequots among the other tribes, and they were actively forbidden from identifying with their culture or returning to their homeland. One Puritan account of the treaty states, "The name of the Pequots is blotted out from under heaven, there being not one, that is, or dare call himself a Pequot." However, despite this pressure, the Pequot people held on to their cultural identity, and they were able to establish an official reservation in 1666. It is important to note that the tribe was originally given 2,500 acres of land, but by 1865, only 214 acres of reservation land remained due to pressure from colonists. Despite the hardships and suffering that the tribe has endured, they have been able to preserve much of their culture and have found their way to be successful within a capitalist world by creating a prosperous casino, a model that other tribes have since followed to be able to support themselves. The Pequot tribe still hosts many cultural events, such as a Shemitsin, a yearly powwow, communal sugaring at the Weekapaug Sugar Shack, and activity in food sovereignty projects. The Mashantucket Pequot people foraged all sorts of plants that are indigenous to this area. Indigenous ways of foraging are a super sustainable way to collect food. Indigenous sustainability works to actively help the environment that you are taking from. Traditional methods of foraging have actually been proven to positively impact seed dispersal, germination, plant productivity, and soil health. There are certain protocols that one can follow in order to forage with indigenous knowledge. Asking permission and giving back. This entails listening to plants and recognizing their sentience and communication. Next is to consider the conditions. Nowadays, it is never a good idea to harvest from roadside ditches and along the edges of agricultural fields that may have been sprayed with dozens of herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides. You never want to overharvest. Take only what you need and leave enough for others and wildlife. Healthy populations ensure sustainability for future generations. These ideas and practices have been put in place for over thousands of years. They were created due to indigenous people's lived experiences with the land and their care for it. My group recognized that one of our intersecting identities is that we are not from the Pequot culture. We live in a world shaped by white settler colonization, dispossession, and the ongoing legacy of cultural erasure. We are privileged to have access to so many outdoor spaces around us. We have cars to get to foraging locations. It also is important to highlight that most of us in this group are women, and that being in outdoor spaces are much less safe for women on their own versus if we were men. We are privileged to be in our socioeconomic class that allows us to take classes and learn about foraging. We are privileged to be able to have the access to technology where we can learn about foraging, and everyone in this group was able-bodied and young and able to go out, hike, to be able to find plants to eat.